Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're looking at Ephesians 5 verses 26 to 27. We're going back to the husband's role here and the marriage. Last time we saw the husband was called to love his wife just as Christ loved the church. And he loved the church by giving his life for the church. So we know that the husband is to love his wife sacrificially. But Paul continues here, and now he tells us that the husband is to love his wife spiritually. What does that mean? Let's look at the text. It says here, let me start in verse 25 actually, just to get the context again. Verse 25 says, "Husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her sacrificially, that he might sanctify and cleanse her with the washing of water by the word, that he might present her to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that she should be holy and without blemish." So here we see a picture of the gospel. Verse 25, justification, right? The death of Christ. We believe in that. We are saved. But Christ does not leave us as we are when he saves us. He sanctifies us. And that's what we see in the next verse. The Lord sanctifies us. He cleanses us. And part of that is through his word. We are washed by the water of the word. As Romans chapter 12 tells us, right? Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so as we get into the word of God, we are changed. We are transformed. Jesus, in his prayer to the Father in John chapter 17, he says, your word is truth. Sanctify them by your truth. And so we are sanctified by the word of God. But in relation to the wife here now, the husband is to not just love sacrificially, but lead spiritually. And that's the job of every husband, not just to be the spiritual priest of the home towards his children, but also towards his wife. There's an expectation here that is made evident in the text, just like Christ also helps the church to grow and be all that God has called the church to be before that final day of glorification. There we see the gospel again in verse 27, when we are complete, when we have been made complete through this process of sanctification, if you will. And so the husband is to wash his wife with the water of the word. So here's a few questions, men. When was the last time you prayed with your wife? When was the last time you opened the Bible up? Are you relying on your pastor? Are you relying on the church to do the job that should be happening at home with you?